Alright, back at my shop. Hey, this is my 1-year-old pup today, May 15th. 1 year old. Best puppy anyone ever would want. Alright, up on my work table is the beginning, not the beginning, it's almost finished. Standard gauge glass top train station made out of Jalousie window glass, 3 feet long, about I guess 4 inches wide, the glass, 1/4 inch thick, and a whole lot of erector set parts. The base is 10 inches wide by 3 inches, or 3 feet long, 3/4 inch thick. Now this thing has gotten pretty heavy. To help keep this thing rigid, I added all thread that's nutted on the bottom of the base here and runs up to this first joint. And at each post on the bottom, I drilled 2 holes, one in each direction, and nutted and bolted the superstructure onto the all thread. So it's pretty strong and also pretty heavy. Underneath you'll see that it was a washer and nut on each post, so it's not going anywhere. Well, the paper I got at a hobby store, glued it down, and then I put 3 coats of varnish on it for good measure. Also on the base I used quarry screenings. After I sifted out the dust, I glued it on all 4 sides of the base. After it had dried, I just got gray spray paint primer and sprayed it, and I figured that'll help hold it on too with the carpenter's glue that I used. Now the posts are made out of these. I bolted them together, put spacers in them to make them pretty rigid and square. So they're my posts. And then I also had to do some customizing with some aluminum pipe. I measured and cut in between, and this way I could tighten up the nuts without crushing the metal too much. And I did that throughout, and even inside the posts here there are a couple. Now the main spans are 10 inches long, so these arms are less than 10, so I actually had to take the Dremel and cut off about 1.5 inches to 2 inches. And you see these brass pieces, I custom made those. I made a jig, bent them so they would fit around this machine screw there, and bent it so they hooked the glass, so it prevents the top piece from sliding down. And the top piece is also held in place by the all thread and nuts, so you could actually lift the station up with that top piece of glass. And then the bottom piece is held in place with these custom angled pieces, and there's one on each corner. Now at some point I would like to find some white metal and replace the brass, so everything is the silver color. So that's my standard gauge train station that I'm working on. Now I need to add lights to it. There'll be lights in each bay. That's 3 bays. And over here I've got some MTH gooseneck lamps. You can see one of them I'd already taken apart. And here it is. Now what I have to do is cut off the bottom, and I also want to cut off the top so I can rewire it, and then I'll cut this pipe, and what that'll do is I'll be able to put them in this way. I was thinking about this way, but decided, well, it doesn't matter. I'll figure that when I'm building it, whether it should go this way or perpendicular. So there you have it. That's a standard gauge glass top station. It's almost done. I started it, I don't know, sometime in February, and I just work on it. You know, a little bit here and a little bit there. Luckily, a buddy of mine has a whole lot of erector sets, and he's got a big box of miscellaneous pieces and parts. So I was able to get all my erector set pieces from him. There you have it. And then I'm also thinking about adding benches in between the two end bays, and I'll do that with a piece of possibly this angle iron. Remove the nuts and bolts, cut this to the length I want, re-drill it, and bolt it onto the posts. Well, that's it.